Hey everybody, this is Steve Kodad. Hope you're all doing really well. Appreciate you very much registering for my latest. This time I'm titling it a little differently. 15 minutes of Feng Shui with Steve, and you'll find out why in a moment. But again, thank you very much for joining me. And this is being recorded, so it will be sent to you. And there will be a short Q&A after we finish here. So if you have questions afterwards, great. Uh, I have a special announcement I'm going to make today, so let's have a little drum roll here, I guess. But I did hear from some of you that you wanted me to do something also. So anyway, I'm now going to be presenting 2 LinkedIn live sessions a month, but they're going to be slightly different, okay? So they're going to both be 15 minutes long with a Q&A after. The first one's going to be on focusing on family. Feng Shui is a big proponent of making sure that the family succeeds. And so that is enough of a reason for you to learn Feng Shui. And I'm going to title it Feng Shui and the Family, okay? And it's going to be usually on the first Wednesday of the month. We're going to be doing them at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The second one will be the same length, and it's going to be centered on real estate. And this is going to be held in the middle of the month at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to be titled Feng Shui and Real Estate. And of course, I had to make a little comment, creative titles, right? Really something. So you need to register. You need to remember to sign up. If you know anything about LinkedIn Live, I can only invite a certain amount of folks a week. They have stipulations on that. So I try to invite different connections each time. So just because you don't get an invite, please keep looking for the possible. Do me a favor and mute your audio. Again, this is me. For those of you who have not seen this, I'm the co-owner of the Intrinsic School of Feng Shui, along with my partner, Lisa Albin. And there's a few other things here. I am a national speaker for this particular information. And I'm also a red ribbon Feng Shui master. I've been at this now for over 19 years now, and so forth and so forth.
New offers and new
Feng Shui tips. So there are multiple ways for Feng Shui to help the inhabitants of a home, multiple ways. And one of the reasons why any Feng Shui consultant that's ever called out can be for a lot of different things, a lot of things. So as you probably have seen in my other things, I try to define the main word, inhabitants here. It's a person or animal that inhabits, lives in a place, especially as a permanent resident. And again, if you've been on here before, you know I like to joke around. I don't mean your brother-in-law who at 35 is still trying to find himself, okay? He's not hopefully permanent. So in Feng Shui, we are all connected, all of us. And some homes have just one inhabitant currently, and that's just fine. We want to make sure we take care of him and her, or her. And so I'll allow all of this material that I'm going to give you today and all of the training that we do in our classes definitely has nothing to do with it has to be multiple people. But sometimes you have a couple under the same roof, and you know that's a little different situation. And then some of you have a complete baseball team there. So, you know, we're worried about all 9 of you. So Feng Shui takes care of a lot of different things. It does work with relationships, which can sometimes be somewhat, I guess, nasty. So we want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable in a setting and everybody is sort of rowing in the same direction. So Feng Shui would like to make the relationships positive and working well together. So when a home is done this well, This way, the harmony and the success is more prominent, it's more consistent. So your home is more than just a home. It should also be your sanctuary. And sadly, when I walk into some places that I'm evaluating, they're really not set up that way. It's either hard to find a place, a quiet place to get away, or it's just sort of disorganized. Sadly, some homes are hardly even a home that I walk in. But you can imagine how better this whole world would be, this crazy world that we're living in with all these weird things that are happening at times. How good it would be if everybody lived under a strong roof and had support over their heads. And I think you'd agree that many of our children would be much more successful if we had this type of environment. So creating a sanctuary in a home is a very pivotal thing, not only for you, but also for your children. So sanctuary is anywhere a person feels especially safe and serene. I'm going to start with one of my favorite things, the health thing. Especially as I get older, nothing is more important than the health thing. So I'm going to start there. And a lot of folks don't think of Feng Shui when they think of health, but boy, it is a very pivotal thing. And if you've done any reading, if you watched some videos, you probably have heard of the energy template called the Bach. And there's even a specific quadrant for health in the center, as you can see in this Bagua. That's not the only quadrant, or gua, we call it, that needs to be enhanced sometimes to bring about good health. So sleep, of course, is a very, very important aspect of taking care of things. So we work very heavily on the bedrooms. And this might be the first time you've heard this, but we nowadays take care of EMF, which is electrical magnetic fields, and trying to keep people healthy. And so our school does an awful lot on EMF and also on plants. And so you're wondering, well, how's that going to help my health? Well, live plants, especially certain live plants, can really help your health a great deal. Now, this is sort of the nuclear family nowadays. I'm not sure they even have probably said 2 words to each other during the day. And I don't know about you, but I think anything can be overdone. And I like to kid around. They might not even know their kids' names. Her name is Apple, and his name is Wi-Fi. So back to EMF for a second. Just make sure you understand what I'm talking about. EMF is measured in milligauss, and the Environmental Protection Agency recommends that you limit your exposure to a very low figure of 0.5 to 2.5 milligauss. And when you are 3 feet away or closer to a microwave, you're exposed to up to 25 at that particular point. So we emphasize in our training to try to stay away from the microwave when it's running. There are a lot of other appliances and devices in your home that actually have an awful lot of EMF. So when we walk into, especially an older home, we're more worried about the wiring maybe in the walls. But a lot of the stuff that is now, normal gives off an awful lot of EMF. So some of the symptoms of EMF exposure for you and your family are, oh, here we go again, sleep disturbances. We find it in headaches, depression, in fatigue, and I can't pronounce that word, but I understand it's very itchy. Lack of concentration, changes in memory. So EMF can be really a problem that you really don't know why you're feeling this way. So the living room in a meditative space would be to your benefit to bring in a particular types of plants. I'm only going to mention one of the ones that we talk about. We talk about 15 different plants that can actually help in particular parts of your house. Peace lily is beautiful in the first place. It promotes mentally the idea of harmony and happiness and has a very calming effect on most people. And we often place it in the wisdom area, but it can be placed a lot of places. But what I want you to get out of this particular thing, there's what it looks like, is it removes things like alcohols and acetone, benzene, and formaldehyde out of the air. A lot of people don't know that the live plants, whether they're in your office or at home, can really help you in so many ways. And I always try to look for things that are easy to care for, which a peace lily is. So again, they can help your health. Productivity and sleep, I'm often hired for these things, as is my partner, Lisa. And in our thinking, an increase in productivity really follows after a good night's sleep. So here's a young guy that's hopefully getting a good night's sleep. And if we do our job well, he's going to be up and moving, up and running around. So as I've mentioned several times in my other sessions, Feng Shui is a domino effect. You've got to take care of certain things to get certain places. Other benefits for the inhabitants. Better relationships. And this is a joke because I had a good relationship with my sister, but sometimes the brothers and the sisters don't. Your creativity actually spikes. You're going to have more helpful people sort of pop up. And what I mean by that is that you're going to see more opportunities come into your life that you maybe sort of were blinded to. You're going to have more discipline if you decide to use Feng Shui in a particular way. You're going to get more organized. And you're going to have a lot better habits. We talk a lot about getting better habits for our students. And we start with a lot of different things that, again, promotes other things to get better too. So if you're interested in training, for either becoming a professional consultant or getting our real estate certification, it is, both of them are self-paced, but with a lot of help from myself and Lisa. And if you do, please just go ahead and email me and I'll make sure that everything starts to move forward. There's going to be none of this, no pushing, shoving, bullying, gouging, or name calling. All I want you to do is just take a look at the PDF. So as for the PDF, it's not for you, no big thing. So next time that I'm going to be able to get up with hopefully all of you that are on here now is we're going to talk about what's the most important feature of a house when selling. And that is going to be done on May 18th in my first Feng Shui and real estate. Again, it's at 2 p.m. So I hope you can sign up for that too after you get off today. And I, again, appreciate always you joining me. I hope you'll register every month. And I want to open it up to questions. So if you want to go ahead and hit your audio and see if you have any questions for me, I'd be glad to answer them for a while here. Anybody have a question for Steve? Okay, so I guess we're all bashful today. That is okay. You can always email me with a question. I hope you'll register for May 18th. The next family with Feng Shui is going to be on June 1st. That's a Wednesday, okay? And again, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. And again, you can expect the recording, okay? You take care.